You know what I want for Christmas? I want justice for ZANDILE MAFE. ZANDILE MAFE is the man who is said to have burnt down Parliament, and it wasn't the neglect and negligence of the South African government in not actually maintaining that august building.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
No, they let it burn down, just like this country is constantly decaying and falling apart. Parliament burned down, burning buildings in the middle of Johannesburg, and now a poor man called ZANDILE MAFE has been thrown into prison for this. On January 22nd, a fire broke out in the South African Parliament. The fire caused extensive damage to both the old Assembly wing and the National Assembly wing. A 49-year-old man from Mahikeng called ZANDILE MAFE was arrested shortly after the fire. He was allegedly found inside the Parliament building when firefighters responded to the blaze.
Okay.
MAFE was a homeless man who hadn't been back to his shack in a township in Cape Town, and his family hadn't seen him for possibly years. MAFE was charged with housebreaking with intent to commit terrorism, arson, terrorism under the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism and Related Activities Act, whatever that is, and theft.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
This man, a poor man who actually seems mentally unstable. He initially underwent psychiatric evaluation at Falkenberg Hospital. There was controversy over his mental health assessment and fitness to stand trial. His lawyers argued he was being used as a scapegoat, which is obvious to anyone who was looking.
We do not care.
This man was being used as a patsy by the South African government, and he was being blamed for something that was the fault of the politicians, and they felt nothing about throwing this man in prison for it. Never mind that he was living on the street. The way they saw it, they were doing this man a favor. Not fixing homelessness, but throwing an innocent man in prison so that they could have a culprit for burning down Parliament.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
He faced multiple court appearances and bail applications. The case drew significant public attention, but the public didn't care enough or just counted it as part of what happens in this country. MAFE was homeless at the time of the incident. He had previously lived in Cape Town's Khayelitsha township, hadn't been back there for a while, and all the questions that were raised about the building and its upkeep were pushed aside. This is a mentally ill, homeless poor man who was charged with a crime in place of the politicians so that no one was blamed for the neglect of Parliament. The Houses of Parliament that during the apartheid regime were immaculately maintained under the ANC government burned down because of neglect. They neglect everything, even the Houses of Parliament. And then they go even a step further. Instead of taking the blame and getting it right, they take it as an opportunity to put out a rebuilding fund that has taken many years now, far too long, because Parliament burned down in 2022, and you know they're stealing money, and they throw an innocent, mentally ill, poor man who was living on the street in the cold, in the dark. They throw him in prison and say it is because of this man that this place burned down with his little fire, sleeping next to Parliament. So they don't see that as a problem, that the man was homeless and sleeping next to Parliament. Because I'm sure when they come there, all those people are chased away. What a disgusting country full of disgusting politicians. What I want for Christmas is free ZANDILE MAFE. He's an innocent man. A saying, silence in the face of evil is evil itself. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. The South African government is evil. They are willing to throw this man in prison so that no one has to answer, so that they can steal money, delay the project for years, and keep stealing money. Houses of Parliament are still not rebuilt, and there's no clear date on when they will. Mentally ill, poor, and defenseless against the snakes that run this country. Merry Christmas.